Gane landed 80% of his total strikes, something like over 80%. So I'm just like, if you're landing that much, you have every right and you deserve to win. Obviously,
bro, you know what's crazy about that stat, is some people have less accuracy on a fucking punching bag, like my man, the Truth. Like, you put the Truth in front of a punching bag, he'll probably hit it like 34% accurate.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz Round Table Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy Tooth with me. How are you doing, sir?
All good, bruv. All good, bruv. Throw in the fucking Bruce Buffer meme, bruv, because you know what time it is, bruv.
What are you saying? It's time!
It's time!
It's time!
Bro, I want to know when he came up with that, how did he know it was going to cotton on to be so iconic, bruv?
Trust me, blood. That is up there with "Let's get ready to rumble."
It is. Are they related?
Say that again.
Are they related, him and Michael Buffer?
Yeah, bruv. Half brothers. They didn't even know they were related until like in their adulthood, bruv.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a deep story. If you ever get the chance, like, look it up, bruv. They're brothers that have separate mothers, and they were like grew up in different households, different families, and then when they, became adults, somehow, some way, they figured out they were related, bruv. It's mad, isn't it?
That is mad, bruv. But we'll do the history lesson for another day, bruv. Another day, bruv. People, when Tooth is here, our Nate Diaz of Dentistry, our MMA connoisseur, it is time for another episode of Fight Talk. Episode 6, I do believe, and it is the UFC review show of 265. We're going to be dissecting and getting into everything that happened in 265, including the fight that we didn't actually get a chance to talk about, but we need to talk about it because, real talk, that was a good fight. It didn't last very long between Luque and Chiesa, but we're definitely going to get into that. But people, as usual, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get them likes up, get them subscriptions up, tell a friend. Tell a friend is the only channel out there that you've got so many different sports and so many different opinions. So get it out there, let people know what's going on. And don't forget to join our social media pages as well. Links are in the description. So UFC 265, actually quite a good card considering Tooth is not one of them cards where you say it's stacked. It's not like 266 where you're going to be like 266 is stacked, but it was a good card, obviously culminating in the main event between Derek Lewis and Cyril Gane, which ended in a third round stoppage and a victory for Gane to win the interim UFC heavyweight title of the world. Tooth, we both predicted that it was going to go 5 rounds. It didn't, but we knew what the outcome would be. Gane taking the victory. What did you think of the fight, bro?
Do you know why it didn't go 5 rounds, bruv? Since I've got the R. Kelly lights on, bruv. Derek Lewis's body was telling him, yeah. But his mind was telling him no. I'm back, bruv. Like John Jones on crack, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, bruv. I'll tell you this much, bruv, yeah? Houston has got a long history of really dubious decisions from the judges. And this ain't even in UFC, bruv. This even goes back to boxing as well. For some reason in Houston, bruv, like, they're all fucking Irish, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they just see shit backwards. Do you get me? But you can keep that part in, bruv. But
I just want to say, yeah, that's his faults and his faults alone, innit? That's got nothing to do with me.
But Trust me, bruv. If that fight would have gone 5 rounds, bruv, given all the dubious decisions that Derek Lewis has got recently, bro, I wouldn't have been surprised if they gave Derek Lewis that fight, bro. But thankfully, Cyril Gane finished him, bro. It was very clear from the beginning how this fight was going to go, and we broke it down in our preview show as well. Like, you know, Cyril Gane, he's got techers for days, bro. He can hit you with combos. He can hit you with kicks, head kicks, knees. He can fight at range. He can fight at close distance. And we just saw a masterclass breakdown of Derek Lewis. But at the same time, like, it is Derek Lewis. Like, he doesn't really pose any threats other than that equalizer. Not to
the right hand.
Yeah, not to discredit him, but as far as caliber goes, Cyril Gane was of a much higher caliber, and it showed. And it does set up this fight nicely between him and Ngannou, very nicely. You know, that you could see them try sort of push the narrative in the post-fight interview. What was it? DC was like, oh, you know, your former sparring partner, your former teammate. He tried to get political as well with, you know, his coach, because his coach, I forgot the guy's name, something Fernandez or Hernandez, whatever it is. Bro, that's another thing I never understood, bro. A black French dude with a Spanish surname. Like, what the fuck, bro? Can someone explain that to me? Like,
well, that's probably also to do with slavery and all them things there.
That's true, yeah, for real. It's like, bro, you remember that player for Leicester City? What was his name? Jeffrey Schlupp.
Yeah.
And this guy looked like he came out straight from the jungles of the Democratic Republic of Congo, bro. He's like, bro, how the fuck are you, Jeffrey Schlupp? You know them way there, bro.
True.
But I digress, bruv. Yeah, he tried to get his coach involved because obviously his coach was pivotal in the role of Ngannou coming up. But then Ngannou left him and then, you know, went and won the title. So, you know, they sort of pushed the narrative. And yeah, bruv, man, Cyril Gane's post-fight interview was smooth as fuck, bruv. You know what I mean? With that French accent is like, you know, this is the very important fight, and je ne sais pas, mama say, mama sa, mama kusa, vavavoom, you know.
What's wrong with this guy, bro?
Telling you, bro. Hey, they know what to expect by now, bro. Those 6 viewers that tune in every week for Fight Talk, bro. They know what to expect by now, bro. I think I've got a cult following, bro.
You honestly do. You honestly do, bro. I'm telling you, they do follow you. But nah, it was a dissection of Derek Lewis, bro. I don't think he landed in the first round. If quote me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he landed in the first round. Gane literally broke him down. The leg kicks were killing him, bro.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, the leg kicks were killing him, and then in the third round, it's like he took it up a notch, gave him that leg kick, and then just went straight in. What did he catch him with? Was it a left and an uppercut or something like that?
Yeah, bro. And you know, that fight could have been stopped sooner. There was a few times in that fight where you thought, you know what, Derek Lewis has actually checked out now. You know what I mean? He's checked out, but because it's in his hometown and because you know, he's got clout, they're gonna just give him, you know, a little longer to try and get himself back into the fight. But you know, it was never gonna happen, bro. It was never gonna happen.
Well, there's a point where I think it was the referee, Dan Mergliar, I think it was, that, bro, he gave him back his gum shield. And I'm like, this guy's on the verge of finishing this guy. You're giving this guy 10 seconds to recover. I'm like, you know your whole Houston thing. There might be something in it, you know.
Trust me. Again, yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? But thankfully, it didn't have any significant outcome on the way the fight panned out in the end. So that was good.
No.
Definitely, the guy that deserved to win the fight won the fight.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think Gane landed 80% of his total strikes, something like over 80%. So I'm just like, if you're landing that much, you have every right and you deserve to win. On obviously,
you know what's crazy about that stat, yeah, is some people have less accuracy on a fucking punching bag, like my man, the Truth. Like, you put the Truth in front of a punching bag, he'll probably hit it like 34% accuracy. Do you know what I mean?
everyone's coming on here, yeah, and sending for the truth, bro. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of bullying going on. He'll be on to defend himself at some point this week when we do football talk. But
listen, he brings it upon himself, bro. That's all I'm saying. Listen, when you got 34% accuracy on a punch bag, bro, like, you know what I mean? You're asking to get this now, bro.
100%. Obviously, you mentioned it. The narrative is now Gane versus Ngannou. Obviously, you said they're getting the trainer involved, former training partners. Obviously, Gane's French and Ngannou's from Cameroon, but obviously French-speaking African country. Spent a lot of time in France, so this is the narrative that they're now pushing. How do you, obviously when it happens, we are going to preview it, but I just want to pick your brains. How do you see that fight going? They're former training partners, so they're going to know each other's style. They're going to know how each other operates. What would you expect to see? Obviously, I'm not asking you for a prediction or anything like that. We'll get there when we get there. But in terms of from the fight, what are you expecting? Because we see that the way how Gane operates, obviously he's methodical. Obviously, I'll leave the meme for you to say about how his style is and whatnot. And he just breaks people down versus, obviously, Francis Ngannou is lights out. How do you expect the two styles to merge in that fight? No, converge in that fight. Sorry.
I think it's going to be a brilliant fight, man. Trust me, I think it's going to be one of those fucking classic fights, and it's difficult to tell how it's going to go at this stage. And we've seen a new and improved Ngannou against Stipe, but we've seen a lot of shit that Gane has brought to the heavyweight division that we haven't seen previous heavy. Like I said in the preview, like, he's nimble, he throws combos, death by 1,000 cuts, bro.
I'm talking death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, I'd like to see that.
Do you get what I mean? So I know you're going to sneak the meme in there, bro, but that really is his style, bro. He's so technical. He's so, he's got so many weapons, and they've obviously trained together in the past, and they know each other's games. They've got, Gane now has the same head coach as Ngannou. Obviously, Ngannou's not with the team anymore, but still, that's a lot of information. That's a well that he's going to be using. So it's going to be a crazy fight. That's my opinion. It's going to be that classic striker versus one punch knockout guy, but with much more, like, not like Derek Lewis. Ngannou's a beast. Ngannou's a predator. Ngannou's built like a tank, and he can turn your lights out with any punch that he throws, not just the overhand right. We've seen glimpses of him wrestle now. We've seen glimpses of him, defend takedowns now. We've seen glimpses of him stay longer in a fight than a fucking round now. Yeah. But I'm torn between it, and I'm just going to enjoy the fight, bro. I'm going to enjoy the fight. After the back of what I saw of Cyril Gane, and not only the performance that he had against Derek Lewis, but also the ones before that against Volkov, against Rosenstruck, against Dos Santos. Like, yeah, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem for Gane. I thought about this, and I thought Ngannou might come out in the first round and try blitzing. Yeah. Just get rid of him quick. Because the last thing you want to do is stay in there long with a guy like Cyril Gane. Yeah. That's the last thing you want to do. So who knows? Who knows? That's how I see it happening for now. I feel like Ngannou's going to try come out and blitz him in the first few rounds, get it over and done with quick. Or Cyril Gane's just slowly going to take over the fight once he realizes, he can take Ngannou's power. That's if he can take Ngannou's power and just beat him, methodically, piece him up. Who knows? Who knows? But it's going to be a great fight. I know, and that's the thing, man. This is the thing about UFC. It changes in a heartbeat, bruv. In the preview show, we were like, oh, for fuck's sake, he's not fighting John Jones, blah, blah, blah. That's still like, you know, that still stings.
Yeah.
You know what? This Gane fight now isn't like, it's not too bad. Bruv.
Listen, I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's the clash of styles for me.
Yeah.
It's just a clash of styles because obviously you said, I don't think that the heavyweight division has seen someone like Gane in it, and the way and the way that he operates and the way that he fights, and then coming up against the man that everyone fears. It is mouthwatering. Don't get me wrong, we want Bones versus Ngannou, and if we had to choose between the two, we would choose Bones. But this isn't the worst fight that can happen instead of Bones versus Ngannou. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, what we're probably looking at next year.
Yeah, most likely, man. Or maybe, most likely next year. Or if they fast track it, who knows? It might be like a December card or a New Year's card. Who knows? But yeah, for sure, man. I mean, that, again, I'm throwing shots at boxing here, but it's like, you know, if Deontay Wilder or AJ don't fight each other, AJ's gonna go fight fucking Carlos Takam. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, for fuck's sake. But here it's like, all right, Ngannou doesn't fight Jones, but shit, Cyril Gane looks like a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is it.
Do you get what I mean? So they know how to promote their fighters, and they've also got really good fighters, elite caliber fighters. And Cyril Gane, even though he's been fast-tracked, they've put him up against names, you know, Derek Lewis, Dos Santos, Volkov, Rosenstruck. These are all top guys, you know, top 5 guys. And he's made them look ordinary, bro. Made them look like light work. I mean, there is a case that could be said that, you know, Dos Santos is over the hill, Derek Lewis is over the hill, Rosenstruck is pretty green, you know, and Volkov is one of those guys which is, if you're up on the cards against Volkov, you're not really going to lose.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, who else is there in the division? Like, what else does he need to prove?
This is it. There's no, well, obviously there is Stipe. He's the only other one, and that would be a good fight. But I think it's one of them ones where,
I mean, there's no demand for Stipe right now, is there, bro?
No, there isn't, and this is what I'm saying. I think Stipe is looking at, because even after the Gane and Ngannou, they're probably going to try and get Bones again against whoever wins that. So Stipe is kind of on the back burner at the moment, but he's probably the only other one in there that Gane could actually fight. But Gane versus Ngannou looks like the fight, and obviously we look forward to it next year. That's a final point on Derek Lewis. Where does he go from here? It was a beatdown. Let's be honest. Not in terms of like blood and guts, but just the way how he just broke him down. Where does Derek Lewis go from here in your eyes?
I mean, he basically goes nowhere from where he was. He was always that guy that was just going to be a prize fighter, a top 5 guy, a top 10 guy, a gatekeeper guy, you know, a guy that will hardly... should be careful with the words I use here, because I do like Derek Lewis, but the facts are this: like, he's not championship caliber. Do you know what I mean? He's always going to be a tier below that, and that's where he's going to remain. Do you know what I mean? He's had a title fight against DC. He's had interim title fight against Gane, and in both fights he has lost. Do you know what I mean? There's a significant gap between him and everyone else that are winning the titles and stuff. So yeah, he's just going to remain where he is. He can continue fighting, you know, the Volkovs and the Rosenstrucks and like those guys.
Yeah,
but that's all. That he's going to remain mid-tier as a heavyweight in the UFC. But he's entertaining, man. He's an entertaining guy. he's still a main eventer in my eyes. Like, you can definitely build a card off Derek Lewis, but yeah, not championship level.
No, fair enough. It's a fair point. I think, yeah, as you said, he's come up short in the 2 opportunities he's had. And I think the only thing he has is, obviously, he has beaten Ngannou before, but that wasn't the same Ngannou that we're dealing with now. But that's probably the only other thing he can use. But
you know, that's a paper victory, because neither of them threw any punches in that fight, and a lot of people blamed Ngannou for that fight, but Derek Lewis didn't do fuck all in that fight either. You know, I feel like the reason why Ngannou took the wrath of it was because he got beaten so badly by Stipe.
Yeah.
And it showed psychologically like he was somewhere else. Like, he was not the same person he was after it. Like, his soul was taken by Stipe, and his ego was completely crushed by that defeat. And then after he lost to Derek Lewis, he went on that incredible rampage of beating 5 guys in like under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe it was even less than 5 minutes. I think it was like 3 minutes. You know,
crazy.
It was crazy. He beat Kane. He beat Dos Santos. He beat Rosenstruik. Like, he was just finishing people left, right, and center after that Derek Lewis fight. So he managed to revive his career. But a lot of people put the blame on him for that Derek Lewis fight, which I feel is unfair, because Derek Lewis didn't do fuck all either.
I think it's because Ngannou is expected to bounce back from the defeat against Stipe, and he didn't, and it was actually a bad fight. I think that's why he got a rap for it. But as you said, he's turned it around, and he's now UFC undisputed heavyweight champion. So we wait to see what happens with him and Gane. Hopefully early next year, we get to see that fight, and it is going to be a very intriguing and interesting fight. Going to move on to, you say, the co-main event. Jose Aldo versus Munhoz. Aldo winning a unanimous decision. Not the most exciting fight. Looks like Aldo was... What's the word I'm looking for? Aldo was...
He put in a veteran's performance.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. It was just methodical with it. Didn't get himself into any trouble, and just did enough to beat Munhoz. Maybe I'm giving him a little bit of a discredit here, but...
You're definitely giving him a hard time, bro.
Sure. You know what? It's not even a hard time.
I just want my man to retire, bro.
Yeah, honestly, I really do, because I love Jose Aldo, but I don't like this version of him. Don't get me wrong, it's probably the best we've seen him since... I'm trying to think now. What fight was it? Yeah. Probably be the best we've seen him since then. And again, didn't get himself in any trouble. Worked his way through it. A lot of body shots and whatnot. What do you think of the fight?
Oh, bruv, just go back and watch the preview, bruv. Called it to a fucking T. That's basically what he done. He put in a crafty veteran's performance, knew exactly how to... This is the thing. If you're not something special in the division, you're not going to beat Jose Aldo. You know, he might be old, he might be past it, but he's still got enough to take out the guys like Pedro Munhoz, like a few of the other guys that he got with, like Jeremy Stevens and all those guys.
Yeah.
He did lose to Marlon Moraes, but that was a close fight. A lot of people thought Jose should have won that fight.
Yeah.
He did lose to Peter Yan, but that is someone special.
Yeah, of course.
He did lose to Max as well. That was at a time when Max was unfucking stoppable. Do you get what I mean? But he's also got these wins in between these fights, like Frankie Edgar and so on and so forth, like Jeremy Stevens, and just like Pedro Munhoz. So these guys, some of these guys are not going to get a name off of Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
As much as they wish they want to. He's still got it all, bro. But it's just much more refined now. And it has to be. He's not the same animal he was 10 years ago.
Yeah, so it's a lot more in the mind for him now. As you said, like, obviously Father Time always catches up. So you got to be smarter about what you do in the octagon. It has to be more refined. It has to be more strategic compared to when you...
Let me put it this way, yeah. I'm going to piss you off by saying this, bro. But if you give Jose Aldo a title fight now against your boy...
No chance. He loses.
Yeah, bruv, listen.
He loses.
He's gonna bring his big ass Rizzler, yeah. He's gonna grind Aljamain Sterling. He's gonna roll him up, and then just about before he lights him up, yeah, Aljamain Sterling is gonna fake a fucking knee to the head and win by disqualification, bro. That's how that fight pans out, bro. Every fight, listen, from now on, yeah, whenever there's listen, I'm telling you this straight now, bro. Don't ever ask me for a prediction about an Aljo fight from now on, bro, because you know what I'm going to say. He's going to fake it by injury, knee to the head, and get the other dude.
This guy got an illegal... Imagine this guy got an illegal shot.
Bullshit.
Illegal shot, yeah. And this guy's trying to say that man's crying wolf. It was illegal. Peter Yan's fault. Yes, we know Yan was beating him up. He was going to win the fight, but you can't listen to your trainer costed you the fight. But nah, no way Jose Aldo beats Aljamain Sterling. Nah, not for me. Not for me. But obviously we know Aldo wants title fight. Can't happen because we're going to have the rematch between Aljo and Peter Yan. Possibility of fighting Dillishaw or Sandhagen.
Yeah, absolutely. I like all those fights. I like both those fights. I think him versus TJ would be a nice fight. You know, two guys, old.
Have they fought before?
No. TJ was always at 135. Aldo was at 145. And then he moved down after the second loss to Max. Yeah. He moved down. No, I think he moved down after the Jeremy Stevens win, even. I think he moved down to 135. But yeah, they've not fought before. That'll be an interesting fight. Both ex-champions, you know what I mean? Both pretty dominant ex-champions as well. Or at least, you know, top tier fighters. So that'll be an interesting fight. Sandhagen's a problem, man. I know he lost against TJ, but again, that was one of those ones where I thought Sandhagen won that fight. The Sandhagen it's a shame for him right now because he's stuck in this void because he's not going to get a title shot. He lost Aljo for the number one contender, and obviously Aljo's in this beef with Peter Yan, and at the same time he lost against TJ Dillishaw. As much as we all like to think he won that fight, on paper he lost it, so he's now dropped pretty low in the pecking order of challenges that come for the title. But it'll be interesting to see. I still think Sandhagen wins against Aldo. I think he wins against a lot of the guys in that division, and I think he'll beat Aljo if they fought again. I do. I think I'm not trying to call Aljo lucky. I'm not trying to call Aljo lucky. Just looking at it unbiasedly. Aljo did fuck him up. He took him down and got his back. But it happened so quickly. We didn't really get to see them exhibit all their skills. Yeah. And I feel like if it was a fight where they could exhibit all their skills, I think Sandhagen would have had a lot more success.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to take the opportunity when it comes. And
fuck off!
Oh, come on, bro! Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna stand here and let me see your weapons, and I'll show you my weapons. It's like, if I get the opportunity, I'm getting you out there as soon as possible. It's the fight game.
Fair play. And look, I'll take my hats off to Aljo for that win because he won that fight legitimately. And that's all I'll say.
No, I think it'll be interesting if Jose fights Dillishaw, because obviously they're talking about Dillishaw getting the winner of Aljo and Yan.
Yeah.
But A, we don't know when that fight's gonna happen, and B, does Dillishaw really want to wait around that long to see what happens? And we don't know if there's going to be a rematch clause, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So I think if he wanted to fill the time, I think a fight between those two guys, obviously known all over the world in combat sports, for them two to get it on it makes sense. And it makes sense for Dana as well in terms of money and attraction because of the names that they are. So
yeah.
I personally, I think putting him in two instead of Octagon together makes sense.
No, I agree. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see them two. And again, it's one of those ones where it's not going to disappoint.
No, it's not. Not at all. With the way how the both of them are, it wouldn't. But we'll see what happens with Jose Aldo. Credit to him for getting the victory. He's not done yet. As Tu said, he's not done yet. But them hanging off of the gloves needs to happen soon, to be honest. Because I don't want to see him get another beating. That's my thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Jose Aldo there. The third fight, which we didn't talk about in the preview.
I did sneak it in there just a little. I did say watch out for this fight. But yeah, Luque, bro, my boy from day uno, from day one, bro. Like, and this goes back again to the Ultimate Fighter days where it was the Black Zillions versus American Top Team, and he was on there. He was on the same Ultimate Fighter season as Kamaru Usman.
Okay.
Yeah. So that show, you know, obviously made Kamaru Usman, but Luque was on the show as well. Luque is just a killer, man. He's just a beast, the silent assassin, perfect name. And we've seen him. This is the thing about Luque. You can never write him off in a fight. That's not the first time we've seen Luque in trouble in a fight, and he's come back and he's not only won the fight, but finished the fight. We saw it in his last fight against Woodley.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen, he had fight of the night against Brian Barberena a few years ago, where that fight went like it, bro. It was, I'm speechless when I come to, bro. It was a war. It was a fucking war, bro. And it won fight of the year or fight of the night. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, he finished him off as well after being in deep trouble. And in this fight, what's amazing was that Chiesa, who's known for his grappling, he's known for his submission skills, he had Luque's back.
In the rear naked.
Yeah, and he had the choking. Maybe it wasn't locked in fully, because obviously if it was, he would have put him to sleep or made him tap.
I think Luque said it was 80% in.
Yeah, and Luque got out of it and immediately reversed position. Like, you rarely see that, bro. You rarely see shit like that happen. And that's just pure skill, bro. And Luque did say it before the fight. He did say, like, you know, everyone's talking about Chiesa's skills in grappling and submissions, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. But we did never in our wildest dreams think that, you know, he'd get out of a rear naked choke, and then I can't remember if it was a Darce choke or an anaconda.
It was a Darce.
Yeah, was it a Darce choke?
Yeah.
And then finish him in a Darce choke, bro. Immediately, as soon as getting out of the rear naked choke, bro.
This is it. It was crazy because Chiesa was cutting off the octagon, took him down, had him in the rear naked. We thought it was over.
Chiesa didn't want no part of the stand-up, though.
Nah, he didn't, because he was just cutting off the octagon looking for the takedown.
Yeah, he wanted no part because, bruv, Luque had him up against the fence the whole time. The whole time. He had him circling around the fence like a prime Tyron Woodley, bruv. Just looking for that exit to the fucking cage, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And then he got his takedown, and that's where I thought, fuck. And then he got into top mount, and that's where I thought, fuck. And then he got his back, and he locked in the choke. I was like, oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But then the way he got out of it, he fought out of it, and then fucking locked in the Darce choke. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You can't make this shit up. Like, if that was in a film, you'd be like, oh, fuck out of here. That's too cliche.
It's crazy, though, because it's the way that he did it. Because I think what DC was saying is that Luque was going, Chiesa was going from the rear naked, and he was trying to go into an armbar, and that's how Luque managed to sliver out and then immediately just flip over and turn it into a dance, and then like made man tap like instantly in the first round. It's crazy.
Bro, let me ask you this, yeah?
Mm.
How many Darce chokes do you remember in the UFC, bro?
Not many, I think. Did Tony?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Bro, but Darce choke is an incredibly difficult choke to pull off. And Tony's known as that's Tony's signature move. Because he's pulled it off so many fucking times from any position. But it's a pretty rare choke to pull off. Like it's not an everyday move, and it's a very risky one as well. Because if you lose position on that choke, you're on the bottom, and you're pretty much in side control.
Yeah,
or your opponent's in side control on top of you. So, boy, like everything about Luque, bro, I'm enjoying, I'm liking, and do you know what I mean? Like, because that division is so stacked, you know, it's welterweight. You've got Usman as champion. You've got Colby fighting Usman next, and Luque's in there. Gilbert Burns is in there. So he's not exactly going to get a title shot next.
Well, who do you? At the end of the fight, he did call out Usman because he's like, Usman, I'm the only one you haven't fought, and whatnot. But obviously, Usman's fighting Colby. Yeah. So you're looking at Luque versus Gilbert Burns. You're looking at him a rematch with Wonder Boy, or a rematch with Leon Edwards. Which one do you go for?
Well, yeah, bruv, it's tough, isn't it? Any one of those fights I'm happy with, but I just don't think I would love for him to get the next title shot. I would love for him to get the next title shot, but I just don't think they'll give it to him.
Leon Edwards is getting that title shot, bro.
Oh, listen, bro. Listen. I know you, man, won the 100 meters and shit, and like everyone's like, Jamaica's in the bobsleigh team and all that shit, bro. But bruv, like, listen, bruv, do Leon Edwards, like, does Birmingham even give a fuck about Leon Edwards? Like, who gives a fuck about Leon? Bruv, like, 90% of Jamaicans don't even know who the fuck Leon Edwards is, bruv. They probably think he's like a bashment artist, bruv. Like, bruv.
They definitely know he's not that, bruv. They definitely know he's not that, bruv.
Like DJ Leon Edwards, bruv. Like, no one knows who the fuck this guy is, bruv. No one knows. No one cares about him, bruv. Do you know what I mean? He should be treated like one of those Japanese fighting dogs, bruv. Like, you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to bark. You're not allowed to whimper. Just go in there and fight. And no one cares about the outcome of your fights, bruv.
Yeah, honestly.
But to be fair, yeah, the whole fucking welterweight division should be treated like that, bruv. Usman should be treated like that. Jorge, even that, like, as much as I like Jorge, bruv, like, Jorge should be treated like that. Gilbert Burns should definitely be banished. Bruv, Gilbert Burns should be, like, he should be reduced to sign language. Like, this guy... like, bruv, just, bruv, you know them way there, like, just get, you know that little dude in the corner in, like, at 5 a.m. on BBC News, that's doing That's what my man needs, bruv. Like, fuck talking, bruv. Like, I know you can fight, but you can't talk, bruv.
Ah, you are awful, bruv.
Oh, bruv, I'm telling you, bruv. Like, but yeah, all these guys, bruv, like, they're all gonna fall short against Usman, aren't they? Jorge fell short against Usman twice. Leon Edwards, even though it was a very long time ago, fell short against Usman. Colby's fell short against Usman. Wonder Boy just lost to Gilbert Burns, who fell short against Usman. So it's really and truly, like Luque said, it's only him.
Yeah.
It is really only him that can pose any sort of threat to Kamaru. And as sad
I think even he falls short with the form that Usman's in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if I was to, I wouldn't be betting my house on Luque to win against Usman. But Luque is a guy that, you know, he's not, as far as levels go, he's not on Usman's levels. As far as skills go, he can go bar for bar, at least in the striking department.
Yeah.
That's what I will give him. But then again, so can Wonderboy. But Wonderboy's deficit is his lack of grappling and his lack of ground game. Where, as we saw with Luque, you know, he can have a top tier guy on his back, locking a choke, and he can still get out of it. So, yeah, we'll see. But first of all, we have to see the outcome of Usman versus
Colby.
Yeah. Hopefully, Covington wins, bro.
Nah.
Hopefully.
Nah. Usman's got that, and Usman better win.
I'll just say, because I think it will spice up the division a little bit. Not because I'm a Colby fan, but I just think it's going to spice up the division a bit if you see a change of scenery.
Get the fuck out of here!
It will spice things up. It will make things interesting because, you know, you've had this Don at the top of the regime for so long. It's kind of like Saddam Hussein when he was like in power in Iraq, bruv. You know, as soon as he went, bruv, like shit just went fucking crazy, fam.
That's because the Yankees decided that he needed to go because they wanted to. Anyway, we're not going to get into that because, you know, if we start talking politics, we'll get shut down, bro. Two people smashing through our windows and shit.
Proper.
But I get what you're saying.
Fam, I'm surprised they ain't smashed through my windows yet with all the shit that I've said.
Listen, honestly, they got you on their radar. Trust me. But I get what you're saying, though, in terms of Usman and his dominance in the division. But at this moment in time, I can't see anyone that's going to beat him. I just think that he'll dominate until either he gets really old or someone new comes onto the scene and and dominates, or maybe one of the Bellator guys comes over. I don't know.
Bro, I'm not picking Colby for this fight. I agree with you completely on this. I'm just saying it would just spice things up if he was to lose. If he was to lose. Like, 100%. It would just make things interesting. Like, oh, fuck. Usman lost. This was the guy that was unbeatable, basically. So, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see the outcome of that fight.
No, 100%.
Just to drop this as well, bruv, because I know we're not going to talk about it, and I know no one cares about this, but this is another gem. The main event of the prelims, Rafael Fiziev, my boy, versus Bobby Green, my boy. Bruv, amazing fight. If you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch it, bruv. Amazing.
What division?
This was one... Oh, fuck. I think it was 155. It was...
Lightweight.
Lightweight, yeah. Lightweight. Yeah, man. Amazing fight. If you guys don't know about either fighter, this is the perfect fight to watch to become a fan of both of these guys. Both of them are fucking gangsters, bro. But yeah, brilliant fight. I was gonna put it on the WhatsApp group, but I knew no one gives a fuck about prelims on the WhatsApp group.
Bro, this is why you're the MMA connoisseur, bro. The rest of us are just armchair fans. That's why we defer to you. Trust me. We just stick to the main event prelims. We're like, what?
Hey, all right. If you want one of those like crystal ball moments, Rafael Fiziev, bro, just remember that name, fam. Just remember that name. Like he's gonna be a problem in that division. Big problem in that division. But yeah, Bobby Green, also my boy, he's been in the game for well over 10 years now. Always entertaining. He's just a great fighter, bro. Actually, great is a bit of a, you know, he's just a really, really good fighter, bro. So
you got the plug there, people. Yeah, like Tooth is good at these things, so he'll mention, like in the WhatsApp group, he'll mention names, or we'll be like, we don't know who that is. And then like a year or two down the line, they're in the main event at UFC 26, whatever, and we're like, oh yeah, so let's talk about such and such. And Two will be like, oh, well, I told you not about that like 600 years ago, and no one wanted to listen to me and whatnot. But this is why he is our MMA connoisseur, because he gives us all these details and he gives us all the information. He keeps us clued up about what is going on in combat sports. Finally, before we go to Chiesa, where does he go from here, bruv?
Back to the
what happens to him?
Yeah, back to the drawing board, bruv. He's been away for a while as well. I can't even remember the last Chiesa fight, bruv. I really cannot remember the last Chiesa fight, bruv.
So what are you saying? He's been in the wilderness and he's come back and then lost again?
Yeah, pretty much. Let me just Google this shit, bro. Let me just find out who the fuck he fought. Bro, the last fight I remember him fighting was against Sanchez, Diego Sanchez. That was
what was
the
that coming out?
That was like that was like just like a old veteran fight just to fill up the card kind of thing. Because there were two names. Do you know what I mean? But let me just double check. Who he fought? No, he fought Neil Magny. Again, one of those fights where no one really paid attention to. But before Neil Magny, oh no, he fought. Yeah, so he did. See, this is what I mean, bruv. Like, he just flies under the radar. No one gives a fuck about him anymore, bruv. So he fought. Yeah, he fought Rafael Dos Anjos and he fought Neil Magny, who both, guys that are top 10, top 15 guys, but it's just one of those things where it's not mouthwatering.
No, it's not.
I mean? It's just like, oh, Chiesa fought Dos Anjos, or Chiesa fought Neil Magny. Cool. Like, what next? He's not title caliber, bruv. He was at one point in his career, but I think he's past it. He's one of those guys now where he'll win 2 fights, lose a fight, win 2 fights, lose a fight, lose 2 fights, win a fight. He's at that stage of his career now. So, yeah, and especially in that division. What was that? That was 155, was it?
That is, welterweight. 170.
Yeah, 170. Yeah, especially in that division with the names that we just mentioned, bruv. And he was a 155er. He moved up. Yeah, he was a 155er. He was his fight against Kevin Lee. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was at 155, and then he went to catch weight against Anthony Pettis, and then he finally went up to welterweight. But yeah, at welterweight, he's no contest for those guys that we mentioned. The Gilbert Burns, the Usmans. I hate to say it, but even Leon Edwards, bro. This guy, bro. Play some reggae music in the background for that.
This guy, bro. Honestly, but yeah, people, that is UFC 265 all recapped for you. Let us know what you think in the comments. Gane versus Ngannou. What do you think is going to happen there? Jose Aldo usually fight next. Should it be TJ Dillishaw? Should it be Corey Sandhagen? Or should he retire? Let us know. And Vincente Luque, who should be next? Should it be Wonder Boy? Should it be Leon Edwards? Should it be Gilbert Burns? Or should he get the winner of Usman versus Covington? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Want to say thank you very much to my guy Tooth. As usual, thank you very much, sir.
Safe, bruv. Safe. Always a pleasure. Same time next week, bruv. For UFC fight night, whatever the fuck it is.
Man said UFC fight night. Hold on, what's next?
Jared Cannonier versus Kelvin Gastelum, bruv.
Oh, that should be a good fight, actually.
That's going to be an all right fight. You know what? I was thinking that to myself. I was like, that's going to get slept on. But that's actually...
But why is that on a UFC fight night?
Because if they were to fight on a proper card, they'd probably have to be mid-card or opener.
Fair enough.
They're never going to be a co-main event. Like, both of them are coming off losses, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it makes sense why it's a fight night card. But yeah, it's going to get slept on. But me and you know that's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a good fight. To the people that have been requesting what happened to boxing, it will come when we get a freaking fight to talk about. Like, we're not into this fights a couple months down the line and blah, 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 with this AJ and Fury and what. Listen, when these fights actually come up and happen, it's going to happen. We've been let down too much by boxing. So in a couple of weeks' time, there will be one because we have got Pacquiao versus Spence coming up. So we will talk about that. But until, that's not like UFC where Tu and I can be like, oh yeah, so we're at 266, this is going to happen, 267, because the reason why we can do that is because we can guarantee these fights. Unfortunately, the way how boxing is going, we can't guarantee anything. That's why it doesn't get any airtime.
And there's one simple reason why, bruv. It's one simple reason why, bruv. And for those who, like, you know, are living in cuckoo world, bruv, let me just break it to you, bruv. Boxing is dead. We gather here today in respect to our dearly departed.
There's a guy.
Bro, like, it's gone. It's a wrap. It's finished. Bro, who even knows if fucking Errol Spence and Pacquiao will happen, bro? Hopefully, I want to see it. The way boxing is moving, you can't even guarantee it, bro.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is why I want to. So when we get there, the week before, Tu and I we will get boxing in and talk about it. But until we can guarantee it's going to happen, because if it's not an injury, it's corona. If it's not corona, then the promoters are arguing. If it's not that, then the court arbitration. Like, there's too many variables that are stopping fights from happening. Obviously, the other day, we were supposed to hear the announcement of Canelo versus Caleb Plant. That's not happening. Then it was Bivol. That's not happening. It's just too much shit going on right now in boxing. That's not happening. So until we get to the week before and the fight and weigh-ins and all that's happened, we're not gonna get excited and start talking about it, because it's a waste of our time and it's a waste of your viewing time. So that's what's gonna happen with boxing. But as usual, before we go, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get them likes up, get them subscription ups, tell a friend to tell a friend. Coming up, it's actually quite annoying, really. Football's back this week. So we got transfer talk coming up. Obviously, so much going on in the realms of football right now. It's actually becoming ridiculous. So we have got that coming up.
TJ's favorite player is returning back to the Premier League, bro.
Yeah, Mark Henry is returning back to the Premier League from Inter Milan, bro. Yeah, so transfer talk is coming up, and we've also got the Prem preview show as well. I don't really want to talk about football. Like, I've been having so much fun not talking about football.
Bro, this is your area of specialty, bro. Do you know?
Bro, listen, I'm just like, it's just depressing, like, talking about United and what they're going to do. I know you're a Newcastle fan, so...
I'm stopped giving a fuck a long time ago, bro.
I know, but it's just depressing. But yes, people, that is what we've got coming up. So, people, stay safe out there, and we shall see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.